It is not an exaggeration to say that these fans here in Lubbock could be witnessing the best season in school history for Texas Tech. All the way up to number 9 in the nation. They take on the Kansas Jayhawks, who were upset prone at the end of last year. This place is unbelievably loud.
They need to on this first drive, and that's try to silence this crowd. Listen to them.
And on the first play, you see a couple of tight ends in motion for the Kansas Jayhawks. Le'Shawn Williams with the carry on first down behind an offensive line that has its work cut out for it, including Bryce Foster in the middle.
Yeah, Bryce Foster, he's got to be the one that's getting all the points done when they do all these motions and shifts. So I've actually seen him climb to the second level, and I think he's an underrated center at that position right now. And then on the back end, when you look at the wide receivers and the skill guys, Emmanuel Henderson Jr., former number 2 overall running back in the country, transfer from Alabama, who's transitioned to wide receiver, and he's one of the best wide receivers in the Big 12. Watch for him deep down the field. They're going to move him around, be their Where's Waldo gadget type of guy.
And notable, Robert, Henderson, a big play guy. Notable that Kansas just huddled for a long while there, trying to sap some time off the clock. Daniels using that elusiveness you were talking about. He gets to the 34. It'll be 3rd down and 1. This defense for Texas Tech, 11 points a game, and these defensive ends are nasty.
David Bailey and Romello Height, watch the get off when these guys get up the field. It's Von Miller-esque. You talk about Senior Sack being out here at Texas Tech. They know what it looks like. And then you got number 10, Jacob Rodriguez, one of the best linebackers in the country. I think he's a little bit like Ed Reed with how he freestyles. And then John Curry there, the nickelback. This is the guy who is a legacy here at Texas Tech and a playmaker for them on defense.
Kansas will run. They've not been very good on 3rd down at all, but Williams has the first down. That's a big change for Kansas this year. They're 126th on 3rd down.
Yes, they're going to motion the guy back in and then bring him right back out, the tight end on the block. You're going to see a lot of this right there. Carson Brunn does a nice job getting up to the second level, creating just enough space for the running back Le'Shawn Williams to get the first down.
That motion for Texas Tech's defense, we'll watch it all day. What does that do just generally?
What it makes them do is it changes the strength of the formation, and they don't know if they're going to continue running to the flat, if they're going to stop and come back, so they have to pay attention to their keys.
That was Cam Pickett in motion as Daniels releases over to the far side. They'll get a first down with Bowden Gruen, one of those tight ends. Kansas's tight end room, you mentioned Bruin already, has been lethal this year.
Yeah, Kansas uses their tight ends just about as much as anyone else in the country. And why is that? It creates mismatches. You get these guys lined up on linebackers who aren't really built to cover. They're built to play the run, and they're making them play the run, play the pass, and then you're going to see them hit those seams down the middle of the field when they least expect it.
They'll go 5 wide, but one of those wide receivers is a tight end. Bruin, the freshman, back in. Kansas sapping time off the clock already, and this is a design run for Daniels, and he is stacked up and dropped. Lee Hunter, who is a ball of energy, gets him for a loss of 1.
How do you stop the quarterback draw? Right here. You get penetration right up the middle so you can stop the run before it ever gets started. So you talk about Lee Hunter. These guys are making sure they're stout at the point of attack, and that is why that Kansas offensive line could not get to the second level to open it up.
There is an injured party down for Texas Tech that's currently being surrounded at the 46-yard line. Looks like our crew saying it looks like Skylar Gill Howard, who is down, the senior defensive lineman. Fox College football is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Home and auto coverage you can count on. Here in Lubbock, you see the new logo there for Texas Tech. The injury to Skylar Gill Howard, he was helped onto the cart. He's getting a big round of applause here. And you talk about a guy who's had a journey to Northern Illinois before here. Before that, he was at Upper Iowa, a non-Division I school, and the collective of guys from around the country that have come here and put together a marvelous start to this year. You can say all you want about the transfer portal and one-year rentals, whatever it might be. He just felt the love in a big way of a fan base that has embraced everybody in black this year.
Exactly, Jason. And He's one of the foursome up front that allows them to get to the quarterback without sending pressure. And you remember he had that pick 6 against Kent State, 55-yarder. They're going to miss him in this game, but we're praying for his health.
A.J. Holmes is in for him. That was Henderson in motion out of the backfield. And Jalen Daniels with loads of time. Now that closes, and he'll whistle it out of bounds. It's 3rd down and 11. Great coverage from Texas Tech.
Great coverage, and if you talk about a weakness for this defense, it could be the back end. So when they're having to cover for 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5, that's a long time. So credit to them using the pass rush to shell Jalen Daniels in and keep him in the pocket and not allow him to extend the play. Beautiful job right there by the secondary.
Texas Tech has a top 10 pressure rate in the FBS, and they do it quite often by rushing 4. We'll see what they bring on a 3rd down and 11. It's a delayed blitz, and they get there, and Bailey finishes the deal. It was Height first, and Bailey, you said it off the top. They crashed in together, a loss of 15.
These two guys are a menace to the quarterback in the pocket, and you're going to see Romello Height comes from here. David Bailey is on the outside. Height standing around in that spinner look, comes off the right edge. Both of those guys are the same side. You got to be kidding me. The quarterback is running for his life, and when those two get their arms around you, you're not getting away.
When they both get there, all bets are off. It's punt time for Finn Lappin for Kansas, and that goes rolling out of bounds away from Coy Aiken. So Alexa talked about Baron Morton, a young man who loves this program and Texas football in this state. Texas Tech offense next. Weekly adventure.
That's right, and it's Hoodie Kermit this week. Hoodie Kermit always ends up in the zone, and Texas Tech has to do the same. Touchdowns, not field goals in the red zone. That alone could blow this game open for them. For Kansas, you got to stop the parade, man. Tech's offense is having their way with every defense they face because they can run the ball. Stop the run, and then it's a honky-tonk protection type of day, guys. It's going to be loud. It's going to be rowdy. But when the music starts, you got to hold your ground. They got to protect their quarterback.
And that's the thing. The music starts fast. Cameron Dickey right down the zipper of the defense to strike up the band. 71 yards.
Cameron Dickey, Mr. Reliable as they call him, had a 70-yarder last week. This week, watch this double team right here and this double team right here between the tackle and the guard. And Cameron Dickey is going to take it right down the middle, and there's nobody home. This is what we like to call getting Dickey with it. We see you, Cameron.
He told us in our meetings, Robert, he said, good players make one guy miss. Great players make two guys miss. What is it when you score a touchdown, you don't make anybody miss because you're fast?
That's what you say. I'm going to take my offensive line out for dinner after that one.
Man, that is worst case scenario for Kansas times 10.
Just watch this, full speed.
All right, tell everybody what stood out most about Cameron Dickey when you talked to him.
What I talked to him is those big old thunder thighs. I'm talking, this guy looks like Saquon Barkley in person, Quadzilla, whatever you want to call him. But Jason, my mama told me the fastest way to get from point A to point B is a straight line.
Straight line.
And that's all Cameron Dickey had to do.
He's a powerhouse tailback. And you know the greatest thing about it is, you talk about unselfish. We said, what's the most important thing for you to do in that game tomorrow? When we talked to him yesterday, he didn't say 71-yard touchdown. He said pass protection. They didn't have to pass it. It was one play for a touchdown. But this, you get the sense this is a very unselfish team for Texas Tech, even with the guys coming from all sorts of different places. Joey McGuire was a very successful high school football coach here in Texas. He knows how to build camaraderie, and he said it to you. He's like, look, I am very much a CEO here who focuses on that word you hear, culture.
Yeah, he's a culture builder. And listen, Joey McGuire was at a point when he was the head coach at Cedar Hill where they were coming up in his 4th year, going up against Hebron, who had just won a state title. And he had guys that I played with, Romy Blaylock, John Jones, Chris Francis, and he brought that up in our meeting, and he felt like this team and the way they played against Utah earlier this season was that breakthrough moment that they now believe they can be dominant consistently.
He's now facing a different quarterback. Cole Ballard is in. He will run straight ahead. The ball came loose. Ballard fumbles it. It's on the deck, and Texas Tech says they have it. Oh, my goodness. You thought this place was loud at kickoff.
Right here, you're going to see Brendan Jordan, the safety, come in and put a hat right on the ball. And even though the quarterback, Cole Ballard, has 2 hands on it, that bad boy comes out and it's free. And then David Bailey, number 31, their pass rushing guru, finds a way to hop on top of that ball as it's flying around like a hot potato.
Joey McGuire always says 3 takeaways, right? He wants 3 takeaways. They're +6 now, +7 this year in the takeaway department. 12 total, right? The 5 giveaways makes it the +7. But now Kansas, like Lance Leipold said to us, get it to the 4th quarter. They might struggle, depending on this possession, to get it to the 2nd quarter. Texas Tech, an early flurry, and Baron Morton has loads of time. He rolls to his right, now back to the left. Morton, the right-handed quarterback, just wings it out of bounds. No reason to do too much. His father always told him, be needy, not greedy. And there, greed stayed away.
Yes, Baron Morton, that's growth for him. Anyone who's watched him over the course of his career knows, listen, you see the completion percentage there, you see the passing yards per game, and the touchdown to interception ratio. But this guy is not a little bit of a gunslinger. He's a whole lot of a gunslinger. He has never seen a throw that he doesn't like, and that, to me, showed growth.
This is a run, and it's a huge hole again for Dickey. He only ends up with 59 fewer yards that time. It's 12 behind a Texas Tech offensive line that has guys from all sorts of different places and a freshman right tackle who's played well. But Davion Carter stands out to you.
Yes, he is a 6', 295-pound guard living in a sea of 6'5" giants.
It's another first down run. I love football for that, right? Doesn't matter the body type. You play well, you figure it out.
Exactly, and he is a people mover. You always say in the interior, in the trenches, the low man wins. Well, he's always going to be the low man, okay? Because he's not the tallest guy, but he's powerful. He squats a ton of weight. And when you look at him, teams say, you know, we're going to try to isolate this guy and attack him. And then they realize, hey, this guy can play.
Big time. 2nd down and 6. Right back to Dickey running to the right, and that'll be a tackle for loss by Keenan Caldwell, the senior defensive tackle for a Kansas defense. The front 7 obviously is going to have its work cut out for it today. The back end as well, and this Texas Tech offense still does throw it a little bit more than they run it, but they pass it better and more efficiently.
They do, and you see highlighted there Jalen Todd. He is the best cover corner and the best corner for this Kansas defense, but it's not just about him. They've only got one of him. It's the other guys that have to cover this dynamic group of Texas Tech wide receivers.
3rd down and 7. There's the pickup by Dickey. Beautifully done. Terrence Carter Jr. waltzes in for a 21-yard touchdown, and the swarm continues.
So sometimes we see these touchdown passes and we wonder, oh, what happened? I want you to watch Cameron Dickey right here step up in the pocket and put a block on linebacker Trey Lathan to give his quarterback an opportunity to find the wide open tight end Terrence Carter Jr. for the touchdown. That never happens if Cameron Dickey doesn't do what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, and why not go for 2 just for fun, right? John Carlos Miller runs it in for Texas Tech. It's 15 love.
Look at this formation.
This is ridiculous.
Holy cow. Direct snap right to John Carlos Miller at the 2nd, and he just runs it in for a 2-point conversion. Oh my goodness, they are getting tricky with it out there.
Into a football stadium and you're immediately down big. What happens is the team you're facing, typically Texas Tech this year in the graphic we're showing you, they've won every game by at least 24, and this is a big reason why. You don't have a chance to stabilize yourself against it.
Every single strength coach in the country tells their guys you got to start fast and finish strong, and Texas Tech is starting faster than anyone else in the country.
That leads us to our power players, sponsored by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram.